Hi guys, Ali Duzette here, and welcome to day 2 of the Money Miracles Challenge. We're working through the 30 Days of Belief Work Finances, which this is available on Amazon, or you can sign up to do this class together with these videos and the instructions from this book inside of aliduzetclasses.com, and that is really fun. Today, we're talking about wealth and selfishness. Is there any part of your body, is there any part of your spirit that believes that wealth automatically makes a person selfish? I want you to go ahead and close your eyes for a minute and really tune into yourself. Just take some deep breaths and ask yourself, how do I feel about people who make a lot of money? And see what emotions start coming up. You might think of some particularly wealthy people. We could name Bill Gates. We could name Jeff Bezos, right? We could name Elon Musk. Okay, those are some very high earners, right? Or we could think of maybe classes of people that tend to earn more. So maybe like lawyers or engineers. Do they make a lot of money? I don't know. I assume so. What comes up in your spirit when you think about people that make a lot of money? Do you have preconceived judgments about them just because of the money? And like, I know some of these people I named, I might disagree very significantly with how they make their money, how they spend their money. But are those judgments because of how they are using their money, or is there any judgment linked to the fact that they even have the money? Does that make sense? We're going to dig into ourselves and feel out if there's any part of us that feels like having wealth and having more money than you need is inherently selfish. Is it selfish to have more money than you need? And I mentioned this yesterday, but I do believe that when we believe that having extra money is selfish, we hamper our financial prosperity. We limit ourselves and our ability to become financially stable. A lot of this comes down to what we think we actually need, right? Because one thing I'm thinking about is house payments, and like many people buy houses and they cost a bazillion dollars, and then you pay off a little bit every month for 30 years. How much? So how much do you need, right? If you are thinking in terms of how much you need to just like make the bare minimum of your ends meet every month, make your house payment, pay your bills, eat the food, like buy the food. If that is your bare minimum of what you need, you are going to be in debt on your house forever. I mean, like for 30 years, right? Like, who is to say that you don't actually need $400,000 all at once to pay off your house, right? Is wealth built on debt? How much does a person really need? And so I want you to just be thinking about that a little bit. Second off, is it possible to have more than you need and still be unselfish? Can you still be altruistic and kind and compassionate and retain more money than is immediately needed to meet your immediate needs? This is one of the principles of self-reliance, is to have some extra saved for a rainy day, because it is not self-reliance if you're living paycheck to paycheck. If the second an emergency comes up, you can't pay for it, right? The only way to be truly self-sufficient and experience financial prosperity and even just plain financial self-reliance is to have extra stored away for things like emergencies, and they may be true emergencies or other things. Whenever we need a little more money for whatever purpose that we decide we need to spend, whether that's giving a greater donation to somebody, funding a homeless shelter, I don't know, like whatever we feel we need to fund, it helps to have the funds, right? And we can only have those kinds of funds in reserve if we are not living paycheck to paycheck. So today I wanted to invite us all to look within and really think about what part of ourselves associates just having excess money with selfishness. Is there any part of you that feels that way? I want us to go inside and take a deep breath. And an image is coming to my mind. This is gross. I'm sorry. It's a guy stabbing somebody else. And the message of it is something like, the idea is this idea that people who have more than they need are like actively hurting other people by retaining that wealth and not necessarily spreading it around. Like it's wrong to retain more. And when you retain more, it's like you're hurting the people around you. So I want us to pull up that energy and that emotion and that feeling of anger, bitterness, jealousy. And maybe you don't have any of that personally. This is kind of like a group image that we're working through, but I wanted to invite you to just feel it out on behalf of your ancestors, if necessary. I'm sure there are people throughout all of history that have felt this way, that have felt the jealousy and felt like they were being hurt because somebody else was prosperous. If you prosper, it hurts me. That's not objectively true. There is enough wealth and enough value in this world for everybody to be prosperous, but it's so easy to fall into that feeling of he has more than me, he must be bad, his excess makes me feel worse, you know. So we're gonna tap on that for a minute. Go ahead and take some deep breaths. We're gonna tap in. There are good people at every level of financial wealth. Being poor does not make you a better person. Rich people could be good. Some rich people are good. I can be a good person and have lots of money. I know how to have lots of money without being selfish. Not all people with wealth are selfish. It is possible to experience wealth without being selfish. Go ahead and put your hands on your heart and breathe it in. Imagine an angel coming down to the guy with the knife, and the angel like ends this scenario and places both people separately and sends down to them through tubes of light knowledge that there is enough value for everyone. There is enough for everyone. Someone else having more than you does not automatically mean that you are less or that you must have less. There is enough for everybody to have enough. See that guy drop the knife? See them both rest and relax and have their systems reset to live without that feeling of enmity and animosity towards each other based on financial wealth. Go ahead and breathe it in. Whew. Okay. I'm really interested to hear what emotions came up for you today. If you want to share them in the comments, you are invited. You totally don't have to. But thank you for being here on day 2, and I'll see you tomorrow.